What's going on, everyone? It's Psychopath, that's a bit off camera, and today we're going to be talking about getting started in Minecraft Dungeons. Now, one of the first things you're going to notice in Minecraft Dungeons, first off, is the story. It's very simple. An arch-illager has minions. The minions are trying to kill everybody. You're trying to save everybody. Very simple, very hero story-esque. Now, movement all has to do with the left mouse button. So you click where you want to go, or you can hold the mouse button and you can actually move with that. Now, combat is the exact same. You click with the left mouse button for a melee attack. And that's like as straightforward as it gets. It's kind of like Diablo if you guys ever played that game, which I'm sure you have, you're good gamers. Now, combat is pretty simple. Sometimes you get these little gems that count as like money in the game. Now, one thing you can have here is your inventory arranged in such a manner as melee, range, artifact, and armor. I actually messed up there. I had it open while there are still enemies for your inventory because the game doesn't pause when you open your inventory, which is something really important for you to keep in mind. Now, next up we have range combat. Some enemies are either too far or, for whatever reason you want to attack at a range, you actually have the bow and arrow. And you have the bow automatically, you'll get bows over time, you'll get equipment as time progresses. So a good combination of melee and range. Now, one thing important to keep in mind is that your arrows can get stuck in a wall or in a barrier if you're not aiming properly, if you're in the wrong position for where you're aiming with the enemy. So that's something important to keep in mind. Now, the arrows aren't instant. You can still dodge arrows, and enemies can still dodge arrows if they're moving properly or fast at the same time. Now, you also get these supply drops everywhere. Not everywhere, but in some places. And you'll get a healing item which heals you for 30 seconds. And you'll get a supply of arrows. Now, you will actually run out of arrows very quickly if you solely rely on range. And you can't just buy arrows. Unfortunately, it takes time for you to get the items back. Because enemy drop rates are very low. Which is something that you really need to keep in mind. This is so off kilter there. Here we go. Now, this game has these things called ambush moments, where it happens like this, where a little fairy dude pops up, laughs at you, and then starts summoning enemies for you to fight. And you gotta just survive the onslaught. Now, the beginning area, obviously, there isn't very much in the way of a challenge for the onslaught. But it's very simple, very straightforward to get by. Just fight the enemies until there's no more enemies, or open a door or clear something, because there's gonna be different objectives that you gotta understand. Now, I leveled up, and the cool thing about when you level up is you get an enchantment point. So you can enchant a weapon with something. I chose a poison cloud in this case. So it has a 30% chance or some other effect of summoning a poison cloud or whatever the other item is. I've had lightning, I've had all kinds of stuff before. Really cool. Now, let's talk about artifacts. You get artifacts every so often, and they're literally a bonus power in a sense. So I can hit the one key in this case and shoot off a fire rocket. The fire rocket hits an enemy, deals damage, and it takes time for it to respawn, or for a cooldown to happen before you can actually use the ability. And sometimes, like I said, there's objectives. You gotta attack enemies to get doors open, to do certain things. You will get hit, I'm not gonna lie, you will get hit. It's not like a bullet hell game. I don't know why I actually shot that arrow, that was pointless. One cool thing about this game is there's also a dodge roll, which I only discovered while making this video. Hit the spacebar or whatever your jump button is in other games, and you can actually do a dodge roll. Now, there is a cooldown time before you can use it again, and so this was actually the end of the mission right around here, and this brings you to the central hub of the game world, which is your camp. The camp has a map table there, and then on either side there ends up being vendors that you can get. So the gems that you were collecting, for instance, the gems that you collect can be used to purchase items, but I wouldn't recommend it. The weapons aren't as good as stuff you can find in dungeons or on bosses. Now, with the camp, also at the end of every mission, you get like a little hero report for how you did. So I had good healing, I did a lot of damage, 100% mobs defeated, and you get a chest at the end as long as you do well. I haven't had a bad chest yet, but this gives you artifacts, or it gives you weapons, or it doesn't really give you abilities because this game doesn't really have abilities. Now, mission select is very important here, because like I said, it's Central Hub. You'll unlock new items. Some things aren't unlocked yet. Some things are unlocked, like Creeper Woods. It'll show you your power recommendation, and your actual power. And it shows you all kinds of really interesting things. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.